here to react to all of it, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham, except I have the modified New York State legal model, which basically takes cosmetics and makes people think it's something that it's not, because they don't know anything about guns to begin with. But I have to follow the law, because you and I both know they'd love to put me in jail forever. Let's go to the border first.
This is why I don't live in New York. Okay.
Well, you're lucky. I'm stupid. I admit it. But here's my question. You're down at the border. Did they really tell you, senators? Well, first of all, they told Border Patrol agents they could no longer do interviews, ride-alongs. Then they're not allowing any pictures. Right. We still haven't seen the inside of one of those cargo shipping containers that they're putting kids in. Yeah. Tell us what you saw, and then they wanted to delete your phones?
Yeah. Sure. Well, I saw a giant cover-up. I can understand why the Biden administration would not want the American people to know what's going on. I saw massive system failure. I told you about this during the transition. Do you remember during the holidays, I told you this would be the biggest issue for the country? The reason I told you that is the Border Patrol agents that I know were telling me they're going back to the old policy. They're going to do away with Remain in Mexico, and they're changing the unaccompanied minor policy of Trump. So what did I see? I saw 200 plus women and small children being processed in front of me that were going to be released into the United States within 8 hours. I saw children with numbers on their wrist, and here's what that means. They have family members in the United States, Sean. They send money back to Central America. They hire a human smuggler, human trafficker to get them to the border. Once we catch them, your tax dollars are used to reunite the family. This is not catch and release. This is catch and reunite. They call the family member, the number on the child's wrist, and the American taxpayer pays to reunite the family who's here illegally. It will send the wrong signal. We'll have half of Central America in the United States in a year if we don't change these policies, and the conditions in which these kids live in were terrible.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking at these videos. Let's keep up these videos. I think those in particular were from Senator Cruz. And Ron Johnson was right, too, and that is we had already solved this problem. This problem was fixed.
Yeah,
and of course,
sure did.
Then it's get in the way, shut off the camera, don't take pictures, delete your phone. Okay. And then the gag order, you can add to this. Now, I'm going to tell you something, Senator. We know a high percentage of people entering this country illegally have COVID. A lot of them aren't even being tested. Look at the conditions. These are abusive conditions for children. They're telling us why they're coming because, quote, Uncle Joe said, come and seek asylum here.
Right.
Now, if we want to reverse this for the sake of the people inside these overcrowded cages that Joe is building for them, don't we have to firmly say you're not getting in and you got to go home?
Yeah, send them back or they're going to keep coming. I've never seen so many incentives for illegal immigration as I see today. If you're 16 and younger, we're going to make sure you never leave the country. If you have a family member here illegally, we're going to pay to reunite the family illegally. That incentivizes more illegal immigration. Nobody stays in Mexico anymore. You claim asylum in the United States, within about 2 weeks, you're released into the United States without a court date. By the summer, we're going to have 150,000 plus a month. If they don't change policy, nothing's going to change. It's only going to get worse. And I can just not tell you how hard it is. Stress enough, the Border Patrol agents are being asked to do something that's impossible. 50% of the force is now processing illegal immigrants. They're not following drug smugglers and traffickers and terrorists trying to get into their country. They're overwhelmed. And if we don't change policy, the worst is by far yet to come. It is really heartbreaking. Sean, Sarah's doing a great job. She's doing a great job for your show, but I would encourage you to go. If you see what I saw, it would break your heart. You'd be mad as hell.
Mad as hell seeing what I see. Our cameras were there. I've been down on the border, Senator, as you know, 14 times from the Rio Grande to San Diego.
Yeah.
Let me go to this other issue here. And that is now we have Joe Biden wanting to bypass this whole other branch, co-equal branch of government again, and, you know, with a signature, institute new gun policies. My question is, the Republican Party may have to, all 50 of you, to stop the end of the legislative filibuster, because we know Joe Biden now wants to change it. We know that Joe Manchin, he's already buckled. I just want to make it harder. So we got the new talking point. Yeah. Will Republicans then, if that's what they're going to do, if they unite all 50 of them, they don't have to show up in the Senate chamber and they don't get a quorum? That's not a situation, as I understand it, where Kamala Harris can break a tie. Am I wrong or am I right? And would Republicans unite on that issue to prevent the end of the legislative filibuster?
I'm confident that if they tried to change the filibuster to pass the most liberal agenda in the history of the country, Republicans would use every tool to stop it, including not giving a quorum. As to AR-15 ownership, I own one. I'm a responsible gun owner. If you really believe that banning AR-15s are the answer to the problem, bring up the assault weapons ban, Senator Schumer, and let's vote on it. You won't get 50 votes, much less 60. So bring this radical gun agenda to the floor and let's vote. I'm not afraid to vote. Why don't you bring it up to the floor for a vote and see where the American people are at?
When you come up to New York next time, I'll show you what they make you do in New York to get a legal gun. You just can't believe it. Including at one point I was only allowed 7 bullets in the gun. I had to follow the law. I follow the law, Senator, because even you, a great lawyer, probably couldn't get me out of jail in Cuomo's New York and de Blasio's New York. Thank you, sir.